Hello everyone, my name is Scalti, and welcome to our Satisfactory Let's Play. Last time around we did a little bit of over-analysis on the alt recipes for the hard drives, and I could have definitely demonstrated the mathematics behind that better, which I'll be sure to do in the future. We also set up a simple quartz system to start accumulating points in the awesome shop. We built the space elevator, and after some unnecessary load balancing with the assemblers, got the phase 1 complete, and we also expanded our power generation just a little bit to keep things going, but thankfully we're going to need this no longer. I hope you enjoy. Can you imagine seeing something like this in person? That'd be so great. Like, some massive structure reaching up into the heavens. That'd be so cool. Anyway, last time we finished up the elevator. We got phase 1 complete, so it's time to look at the milestones, but also, since then, we've also unlocked overclocking. So now we can overclock, underclock, etc., etc. We have our power slugs that can still be, I guess, researched. Actually, let's do that. Let's see. Do we still have... What do you need for it? You need 1. And a decent amount of reinforced iron plates. We're just going to wait on that, I guess. Let's look at our milestones. So, Tier 3, coal power, automation. Yes, please, so much. 150 reinforced iron plates, 50 rotors. So, I'm almost wondering if we set up a basic reinforced iron plate and a basic rotor factory. Let's look at what we need for rotors real quick. So we need no copper components, which is good. I know that we can do like the 180 and we get like 16, I think, per minute from 180 iron ore. So it'll again be 2 iron nodes. So maybe we do, instead of 16 per minute, we do 8 per minute. We kind of work that backward. And then we can do 10 reinforced iron plates per minute. I think that's not bad considering, you know, how often we're going to be using reinforced iron plates, what all is invested in, like, to actually unlocking this. I think that would be probably better than manually crafting and then doing it, but at the same time, something that would be worth doing. Our fuel should be fine on most of these. Let's go... Actually, wait. We don't need to go over to it. We can just build another one here. Oops. If we have the resources. Awesome sink. So if we run power to it, 15 coupons. See, we have global 3,600 points per minute. It's so strange how the cursor is a little... I think that deals with UI scaling. Let me actually check that setting then. Option, user interface, HUD scaling. 1. Apply. Confirm. Yes. So there's a HUD scaling bug when it comes to mousing over the interface here. So we're looking at 3,600 points static per minute. That's not bad. Let's look at the awesome sink. I think we do have everything. Fantastic. All right. I'm probably going to modify the scale back down first, actually. Because I do have my little overlays on the bottom left and bottom right that I want to keep in line with. First things first. Conveyor lift hole. Wall power Mark II's 4. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we're just gonna well, do we need... I think we might get rid of the Mark II's for now till we get more points. Absolutely want this if we're gonna be working with water or fluids, I guess you can say. We're not gonna need any of these, at least not at the immediate. It could be cool for like stylistic things, but that's not our real focus right now. Conveyor walls couldn't hurt, you know, obviously. Maybe we do want to have a little bit of fun with the design though. I think windowed walls actually would be superb. And that's, let's see, we have 15, we have a total of 6 so far, so that's, we got 9 left. We could do the walkways modern are 5. Okay. That's not a huge critical piece. I'm thinking like what is core to the overall structure that we're going to be working with. And I think we honestly got all of it. Like maybe the conveyor walls. So that's 11. So we got room for 4 more. Organization. Label signs kind of cool. Lights control panel. I guess we can always do 3, like something. Ooh, customizer. Concrete wall material. That's. Wait. Foundations. Do we already have access? Okay, so how do we get the concrete? Unless that's something we have to research and acquire later on, I believe. Wait, where was that? It's called customizer. Oh, here it is. Ooh. That's, my cart's empty because I closed out. No. Oh, asphalt. And then concrete. So they got rid of the shiny concrete or like the polished concrete. Unless that's something else later on. Okay, so let's get this figured back out. Attachments. Conveyor floor hole. We'll do Mark 1. This. We'll do the conveyor. Well, maybe we don't need to. I have an idea on what we can do to avoid needing this, but honestly, it couldn't hurt. And so we have room for 4. I think that was 5. Oh, it is 3. But then also we wouldn't have matching walls if we're gonna like start this project. I guess we're gonna end up acquiring some more points while we end up getting the basics to actually unlock. Because I'm gonna manually craft to unlock that. I think we're gonna manually craft it and just go straight for the power. So we'll just do this for now. Because we'll eventually get more points. Like I said, you know, we're getting 3,600 points per minute. The cost is a little high. Let's see what the next ticket cost is. It should only take a second, 10 seconds. Maybe a little longer. That's okay. It'll take some time. Did we actually unlock the walls? Wait, what did we unlock? I thought we... Oh, we still... Okay. 4... Okay, that's fine. Also, we have the customizer. Let me do one thing. We gotta switch this up a little bit. Ta-da! Although I think I might go to black. I can mess with this all day. Gunmetal's kind of cool. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to craft up everything that we need to unlock coal power. It's going to be a slog, I know. But I think not having to worry about power moving forward, I'd rather spend my time doing that right now than building out a factory in which we don't have all the components to build it out properly. I'd rather kind of do this one a little dirty, kind of revise it later. So I think we're just going to have to tough it out, if you will. So I'm going to go get all the parts on my person that we need in order to get this done and get it done. All right, so we have our more than enough reinforced iron plates, and we have just enough-ish on the rotors. We actually do need a little bit more cable, so go ahead and grab that. Dunk. And then we'll still need to, we're going to calculate out exactly what we're going to need for the actual machines themselves. Right? Cool power, that's what we want. Yeah, that's what we want. Alright, so it's going to update our hotbars a little bit. Thank you, Ada. Power, coal generator. I wonder if, can you do this and then, yes you can. Okay, so we're just going to actually set that to 3 instead. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to do this. And then actually, yeah, we'll go to 5 for the burners. So we're going to do a shopping list. We're going to start with 8. 80. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much manual crafting. I know this isn't exactly the most efficient trust. I very much understand. Actually, oh, we did get pipes unlocked with that. Okay, that's really good. So we can get that hotbar set up too. So production water 3. Okay, it's a little intense. It's 190 reinforced iron plates, 110 rotors. We're gonna switch over production here then. Let's actually clean up the inventory a little bit because we're gonna be dismantling quite a bit. We can just store everything for now, it's fine. Take these down. We take off this constructor. Also, I noticed at the end of the last episode. Wait, what do I got? Okay, it's right. We need to merge and then split. So we need to merge. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of the smelter. I noticed I'd accidentally deleted one of my constructors for concrete, and it was running on 2 in total. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut this for now. It's over here. And we're gonna run a merger. Middle. Let's kind of see, I guess, maybe from this perspective. And then we're gonna split right afterward. Then we're gonna do 3 constructors here. Before I get all that connected up, actually we're gonna go ahead and dismantle this and this. Replace the splitter. And then we'll merge together into a single storage unit. Copper sheets all the way around, right? 20 to 10, so yeah, we'll be producing 30 copper sheets per minute off of the system. Helps if we have power, doesn't it? I think we might be a little short. Oh no, we're good. We're good, we're good. Oh, I gotta reset this? Okay, there we go. You know, and actually insert this as the output. Actually, just do this. It's actually not gonna make a difference. We can actually just go ahead and delete that. Not the wire. That would not be good. But we can go ahead and drop low. It looks like we're full up. Which is pretty great. I guess we can actually, let's go ahead. This has power to it. We can set up a little temporary drop, if you will. I think the actual insert is over here actually. So we can just put a little something here. And if we ever need to, like, rather than dumping stuff, we can just, like, instead of trashing things, oh, can't afford, oops. We can just awesome sync it. Obviously the points are almost inconsequential, but it couldn't hurt. Pull up on plates too, which is pretty fantastic. We're gonna need a lot of screws. So let's see, we can drop all but one stack of each thing essentially, and we'll just let that run. So yeah, I'm actually going to take on the begrudging task of manually crafting all of the items that we're going to need for this build. And we're going to get automated power going. I think that is the right play, just based on what my vision is of what I want the factories to look like. I don't want to build a factory that doesn't have all the parts it needs, especially because we don't have all the points that we need anyway. We gotta wait. So we might as well just wait until we have the opportunity to build the factories how we want them to look. In the meantime, at least get automated power going on. But I guess also we can look at next steps. Steel could be cool. Obviously we want, Mark III logistics. I think maybe this for exploration would be kind of nice. Don't need to worry about advanced steel by any stretch of the imagination. Vehicular transport could be really cool. I definitely know I want to like kind of mess around with truck stations, which this could be beneficial to unlock prior to making a lot of factories. So that way I kind of understand what the truck station is, how it like works, the size, etc. Because we're in the desert, we have a lot of opportunity to, create driving paths, especially with, like foundations and whatnot, especially the asphalt texture that we have at our disposal. So I want to try and do what I can to plan ahead as best as I can. Looks like one of our constructors isn't working there. So I'm going to fix this constructor, I'm going to get everything crafted up, and we're going to go build some coal generators. So, editor Scalti here. This is the constructor that I accidentally deleted when taking down the assemblers for the space elevator. But I just wanted to chime in as well about the comment I made about waiting to get the coupons before we start building any factories. Not going to happen. The amount of coupons that you need, or that I would need to buy the things that I would want to use to build factories, would take forever. What also ended up happening was I was like, oh yeah, back in episode 1, I'm not going to use the craft bench too much. We're going to actually automate the simple stuff. And then I changed my mind again. So we're just going to go ahead and skip to the part where I got everything crafted without me second guessing halfway through. All right, take care. All right, so if I had to give feedback on that whole process, I probably might not do that again. Who's to say? I think it's also just a little bit of me being impatient and really wanting to get to automated power. But the issue we ran into is we were quite short on screws, even at the rate that's being produced there, and how long it's been running passively, especially because we used a lot for completing phase 1 of the space elevator with the rotors and the reinforced iron plates for that. So to quadruple that, a little over quadruple the amount, was pretty intense. So would not recommend repeating or doing that. Potentially I might recommend, if you're not in a super rush, to get some kind of basic system in place. Also, I completely forgot to set that recipe back for when we deleted it, but long story short, we now have all the material that we need. Here's the inventory. We have plenty of copper sheets, should have enough copper sheets for what we're going to be doing. Probably going to need to grab some more concrete. I'm actually going to grab a little bit more. I think I'm going to grab one more stack of sheets. And then we're going to grab some concrete, and then maybe some more plates too. Since the foundations now require plates, I figure it makes sense to probably keep a little bit more of those on hand than I normally would, like say in the past, prior to that change. And this upcoming part, I just get a little distracted with the awesome shop again, overanalyzing things to buy like I normally do. So we're just going to go ahead and skip forward to getting on our way to the coal nodes and building up some coal generators. So we're going to head over this way. This area will look familiar. This is where I initially set up the coal power, where I featured like the water tower and whatnot. It's off in this direction here. So we can check that out and get everything set up over here. Pretty sure there's at least one pure node to start with. Nope. Should be around this corner. There it is down there. Just gonna be a little careful here. Also, I know, just realized we're gonna need to head back at some point. Ooh, we don't have ladders, do we? We have lookout towers. Which is just simply not the same. Ladders. That is part of... Let's see. We could do stack, or we can actually just zoop down. We'll just zoop the ramps down. So if I do this, I should be able to switch. Okay. So we'll just start with this for now. See if I can... Actually, we can just do this. Do normal. Oh no. Okay. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. We'll get the material from them. We don't really need production. We have all the items that we need, so let's just focus on getting all this complete. And we have a decent amount of stuff in reserve still. So we have a pure node and a normal node. And we're going to tap into the pure node for now. And we're just going to send it out this way, and then we're going to go down. So let's go ahead and get our extractor lined up. I think if we can do it, I need to set down a single one foundation. Then do, actually maybe not that. Two. There we go. Let's see if we can... It's too high up, isn't it? Oh, we can't afford it. Because we don't have the miner. Okay, we can fix that. So curiously enough, we can allow it to encroach clearance like that. So let's see if we can't... Maybe we just do a 4 foundation. I used to be so good at being able to like jump and place these, and it's just all downhill. Oh, that's still encroaching clearance. So it looks like that's the maximum height, unless the reason why I was doing that. Yep, okay, that's why. It's just simply because we didn't have the foundation here in the front. I wonder actually if we're completely lined up. Yeah, we're got very fortunate right there. So that works. So now what we can do is we're gonna head down. Pretty steep. Actually, we're gonna go straight. We're gonna go to the very edge here. So probably one more. And then we're going to stay here. We have walls. So we're gonna do, I can toggle between these, right? It's okay. Then we got these, I can toggle these, right? Cool, awesome. So we will go out. We go down. Is that what the water is? Okay. It's not too bad. I think we go one up. So we don't hear that we're running on water, which is good, at the very least. Then we can go... Actually... Let's see, Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna go off the edge here. And then go up. I want to get rid of some of the excess walls that we got down here. Well, yeah, we'll give room for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bank out. Oh, we're already low on concrete. Jeez. So if we look at our power generators, floor's too steep, so we need to build an extra foundation, but they're actually quite large. One, two, three. We do four. Is it 4 foundations? Oh, it's just 3. How far back off can we go? Okay. So we'll do these a little higher up, but I'm going to have the water extractors down below. And what I would like to do is there's a certain, obviously, distance, maximum distance that we can go out. So what I would like to do is have all of the water extractors below to maximize space. Or I guess actually, if we think about it, 8 generators to 3 coal generators. We'll actually have plenty of room to kind of do them all flat like this, but I would like to... I like the idea of building up a little bit more, but I also want to be conscientious about not having to really worry about pipes. Yes, we have the water tower system. But I think just keeping it kind of low profile would be kind of neat. And I want to, challenge myself to do new things, if you will. So I want to mess around with a couple ideas, and I'll show them here and there as I work through it. But otherwise, if I just constantly show the whole design process, this video would be insanely long. So I'm going to work on a couple of ideas, and we'll go from there. All right, so I think for an option here that I kind of really like is essentially we can create batteries, or modules, if you will. So it's going to be a modular design. And the way that I kind of have this working right now is we're coming straight off the miner, and we're going to come into this little station area here. The coal will come down this pathway here, come down, and then it will divvy up in an array. We're not going to do any load balancing. So we'll split on the mid, relatively on the mid, like so, and then we can do floor holes up top, like this. And then it'll be a little funky, but what we could do is something like this. And then we have the pipe here. I guess maybe the pipe actually, now that I'm looking at this, would get a little awkward, but something that could be kind of neat. I don't know if it's really practical from an actual factory design standpoint. But who knows, maybe. Let's just see if what this does. So we'll keep that in line there. For that pipe, that bend does not work. So we'll need to do something like this. That doesn't work either. Noodle. Can't do vertical. That one doesn't work either. I feel like that should work. Especially if we can noodle. That does look a little silly, doesn't it? It's not terrible, I guess, but you can tell it's not. I'd like to go for the... Okay. That doesn't work either. Okay, so that's really curious. And honestly, a little frustrating. One would think we'd be able to just bend it, because it's got like a weird, no, can't do that. The other idea, since this looks to be not the greatest, I think it'd be cool if we were able to run it all down the middle here. Maybe what we'll do instead is we'll turn it around. Also, this layout works really well, by the way, for a couple of reasons. Oh, this is actually hanging off the back end more than I thought it was. So, if memory serves, if we bring it here, right, which it looks almost in line, but we do just go down to here. We'll assume that this is technically lined up, which it actually is. Unintentionally. If we take a lift, so that's one. You know, it's two, like this, I believe. Yeah, so that will snap into place. But when it comes to the pipe here, also for all intents and purposes, call it, it's going to come in here. If we do vertical, you can see how it has this angle here. The way you solve that is you put the floor mount, which I can't even snap to because this is here. So if we try and do this, I can't even get it to appear. Maybe I can manually place it. But you can see that we're probably going to get the pipe is too short. Kind of situation. So what we would need to do is actually bring this in one more step. Like so. Also, we can't bring it out one more step because then we just get that inverse problem where it's going to angle out this way instead of like this. But from here, we can then, and I'm not sure why it's not, go. Then we can do the wall. And it has that perfect alignment. The then trade-off is we can't take belt and then do this. We have to then bring in the belt, and so then we get the exposed piece here. We can't do it flush. But then, like, we couldn't do this into, say, the floor hole, simply because I would want to do the same thing with the pipe, which we discovered is not possible. So that was one option I'm looking at. I'm going to look at doing, see if I can figure out a different orientation where we can kind of get the best of both worlds. So I don't mind this little offset here. And those who might not be familiar, this is a trick that I've actually shared on Reddit before, where you can see here, it's a pipeline wall support. And I've attached it to a wall, or what was a wall, down below there. And that provides the resemblance of it going into the floor. You can kind of see here in this little slip, like little edge between the foundations, you can kind of see down it in, which makes it a lot more apparent that it's clipping. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to head back to the hub. I'm going to use up some of those tickets and get the concrete texture for the foundations and kind of see what this looks like if it closes up the gap or not, because I believe it should make it completely flush. I do kind of like the offset. I don't, yeah, there's no other real, I can maybe shift this whole thing over one, but it wouldn't be perfectly aligned, I believe. I guess we can check real fast. I guess, yeah, if I moved it over one, we could make it completely aligned. So we have to use the noodle version, but you do get it's a little bit more of like a 90, it's at least like a more close enough type situation. And then, you know, we can get just like the floor hole here, and then feed it in that way, and just kind of do that all the way down the line. And it actually works out kind of well. I mean, there's definitely some overhang here. I'm not sure. A part of me wants to loop this all the way through like this, potentially, or at least like maybe do 4 here and then back this up a little bit and still stick to the same principles here, because this will give us more than a width foundation in this portion, based on how we were kind of testing out the splitting and how like the belt kind of looped around to get into that lift. So instead of like, you know, instead of doing this here, essentially, if we took the whole thing and brought it back, I believe, take a look at this too then. So head down over to the side. I believe that's where we want it. Then we can try that one more time. You can always just do this, keep it centered, but then just, you know, like do this little offset here like this. And then essentially be the opposite on the other side here. It would just curve off in that direction, and we get like a little bit of a diagonal belting system going on. And that does afford us a little bit more room. I think actually what I might do then is I'll bring it up another half step, so that way this piece is in the middle here. Like this. And then we can just take this. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of a difference on the alignment here based on how it's snapping. So that's something where we actually need the wall to get it to line up like that. I mean, I guess you could always, it just depends on the distance. We're actually bringing this forward, so that wouldn't work either. But we can just go ahead and do it like this. Delete the wall. And then just bring this forward here. Or just all the way up, actually. And this will afford us the ability to put walls on the back here if we wanted to like build up and kind of cover this and then like let the stacks clip through the ceiling. to really make it look like a more enclosed factory. And do something like this, I think would work. I'm a little bummed. I was kind of, wait, unless there's, oh, pipeline swatch. Gunmetal. Actually, what is, gets a, unless that's like the color for like the pumps or something. Just set it to white. Leave it like that for now. So yeah, I kind of like that. Looks clean. It, you know, it accomplishes the result that we want. It's just definitely a little more tedious to set up the pipeline wall connector, pipeline wall support. We'll have to do that for each and every one. So we'll have to like take out all of these or place them one by one essentially and whatnot. But I'm gonna go grab a concrete. Well, it's not really that important because we don't even really need to worry about it right now based on how this is aligning. So we can just go ahead and continue construction. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other 7 of these placed, and then actually here we might want to consider how the piping is going to work. I guess the piping can just, that's the other thing. So then down below, to do it, it's in the middle. So it'll be something like this. And then we fill this in. Or, actually, it's a little more tedious. But we could do that. Does that go up one? Looks like it. I don't even know if that's going to stick out. No, it won't. So then what does it look like? Could we? I'll do something like this. I can't target it. Oh no, it's automatically gonna go to the top there. And then that's gonna look not terrible. I'm not sure how I feel about that. What does it look like if we just noodle here? Oh, let's just do that. Although it is a little weird that the bolts just kind of, you'd think this would be a little bit more flush. Maybe they'll change it. Yeah, we can just do that. Yeah, that's a much simpler process. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these all positioned, and then we'll work on running the piping. So something else I think is kind of neat is you can kind of manipulate the soft clearance a little bit, and you can't even, unless you're really looking for it, can't even really tell what's going on. But we can kind of overlap by just a slight margin. So instead of like holding control and you get the gap here, instead of that, we can just do something like this, and you can still walk between, which is nice. But I think just the slightly tighter gap just kind of brings it, I don't know, I like it. The fact that you can kind of do that is super nice. Then we can kind of capitalize on how we're going to be positioning walls and whatnot. I mean, obviously we're going to be building this out lengthwise a little bit more, so we get better belt speed. Because essentially once we get, because it consumes, oh, how much does this consume per minute? 20? No. We can do 8 off a line of 120. 15. So yeah, that's right. Okay, so it takes 15 per minute. So yeah, eventually, like once we double that and get like our 270 belt, like our Mark III belt, we'll do 240, and we'll do a bank of 16, and then maybe call it there. Maybe go out a little bit further, but that's also going to be based on how we do the water constructors below, and based on how we're doing the design up here, you'll kind of get a better idea of what I'm looking at accomplishing. Once we get these all in place. So we'll pick it up once I get these placed once more. All right, so looking a little different once again. Discovered a couple of things. First off, I found out we can actually get this one step closer, so we can overlap by 2 notches essentially, and very little, if any, clipping at all. I guess maybe like on the boiler side, like right there. But from the front, it doesn't look too bad. And if we go around to the back, actually, we can still get up like the ladders in between things, which is really great. And now this all kind of joins together here. I might end up doing some kind of walkway system on the back here, but I'm not sure based on how we're going to be connecting these to power. That'll be kind of a curious quest. I guess actually I'm kind of curious now. Could we... And then... Oh. I guess actually straight down like this. Because then we can go up. We can do... I think you can snap a walkway on the edge here. We can have a walkway out and over if we really wanted. And then we don't have to worry about like crossing the cable, the actual power cable. I think that kind of works. The other kind of benefit is now we got them fitting to essentially one foundation frame. So you can see how it's consistently placed on each one, which is fantastic. And now I'm just working on... Oh, I extended the spacing in between here, so that way we get the little flow indicators, just to make sure that everything's running. Sorry, I got like mild hiccups. And then what ended up kind of working out in our favor here, to an extent, I realized a slight problem with it. Because I was honestly already recording this, and then I accidentally... So I tripped the internet earlier, and then I actually just turned off the entire power strip underneath my desk, which turned off the computer as a result, which is kind of a bummer. But what we can do is connect all of these like this. And the reason why I have this system here is because this is essentially going to enable us to connect everything to the key pipe. Because then what we do on the other side here is we connect these up like this. But first I need to do one more step in between that. So we'll go ahead and take care of that right now. Run this all the way down. So if we take this splitter here, place it here, then we do that 2 more times right here in the middle of each one. You can see that I'm placing 3. And this works out to our benefit because we need to bring 3 water extractors up into 8 coal generators. So by... Looks like I was a little off placement, at least for this one, it looks like. So we get this really nice symmetrical design here once we get them all plugged in. But I think this will work out great. So it's a little too tight for the actual water extractors themselves. And so what I mean by that is once we run these down, if we were to like run them down straight, there is actually not enough room left and right of the extractors. For us to be able to... oh, I certainly botched that one. There's not enough room between the water extractors widthwise to get it all plugged in. But what we can do is we can just run the left and the right side off to like the left and the right. So instead of going like straight down like this and going that way, because if we put one in line with, say, this one, for example, like say here, we wouldn't have enough space next to this one here, as you can see, to get this one placed, unfortunately. There's just a little too much overlap, so we'd have to spread it out a little bit, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these in place. Also, I decided I'm going to do one side of 8 first, so that way I can just get the full design figured out like this, and then I can just mirror it. I think it's easier to mirror it than to extend it in this case. And I still kind of want to explore with how I'm going to situate this bottom floor area. I'm not sure how I kind of want to do that. The other option I was kind of thinking was we have this like this central line system. You know, we have this central line here. So I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if we just maybe ran water extractors. Maybe not on this side, because I don't know. I guess we would have enough room. We look at like this line here, and we did the water extractors, like for example, we'll call this the edge. I believe we have to. Actually, no, it would be here. We have two, yeah, we have 2 full foundations of length. I believe if we were to say line it up like this, we would then be able to, oh, maybe not. It would bump right there. But we could essentially just run water extractors this way and then bring all the pipes into the middle. Probably like this, I guess. And then we would, well, 3 pipes coming in off of each side. So it wouldn't be like that. It'd be something more like that, maybe. Bring 3 in, and then this would come to this middle. Pipe has invalid shape. Curious. Do it like that, essentially. And then this pipe would come down. Well, it's not centered at all. To here. Curious why that's considered an invalid shape if it's, I guess it's just struggling to figure out how to run that vertically. We could do it like this, or even maybe like raise these up a little bit so that way we can walk, or maybe we can walk over them. But having the pipes running in like this and then just doing the water extractors down that way. But I kind of like the idea of running the length like this. So honestly, I'll probably do something like that, and we'll just kind of work with the minimum distance that we need to set for the water extractors here. So we'll just do something like this. And then just figure out how we kind of need to offset this. That really sucks at building vertically. That also not... That is a line. Okay. Is that a line? That's a line too. Maybe we go And then we can have like some exposure here on this side and do some walk paths over top. I think that, oh wait, that's where the pipe's supposed to go. Okay, so option, oh, option 2. This doesn't go here. We get rid of this. We actually build this out like this. And we actually take this all the way down. Straight here. Switch to vertical. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay. I like it the other way, so we'll go with this. That's a little curious. So we can do it like that. And then to connect these, we can still run it on the outside. It just doesn't have the connection. Do it like that. This gets turned around. That's not too bad. Then we can always link these up too. Just really, I mean, I don't know. That seems a little excessive, I suppose. Maybe we can just avoid doing that altogether. And then all we would really need to do, we don't even need an actual water tower. We can, let's see, if I delete these out, place the pump. Oh. Where's the power connector? Oh, I can only, wait. Now I can rotate, okay. That's the power connector there. So I don't think that's enough head lift. Let's see, one more ping. That looks like it actually is. We might be able to get away with this, which would be fantastic. Because if we just need the one pump, because that should be enough head lift from the water extractor itself. If not, we can always place a pump here, I suppose. Or we can just honestly just do a second one, which isn't really needed, I don't think. I think we should be able to get the water up there, and that'll go all the way up top. But because this is going to essentially interconnect to all these pipes, that will provide everything with enough head lift. So I'm gonna go ahead and literally finish up building this unless something else comes up, and then we'll get this powered up. Actually, something else has come up. What we can actually do to get a similar external appearance with how this system is set up, we can actually force the same behavior. A little bit of magic, if you will. So we're going to line it up where this is connected here. Actually, I'm sorry, not here, but here. That. And this will afford us same opportunity. But you can see that we do have some wiggle room. So I'm just working to kind of line this up left to right. Looks pretty good. So we can do it like that, and then we'll have... I wonder if we can run a half... like the catwalk here. But then all we need to do, if we really wanted to keep this all connected, we can just connect it like this. Just do this on the inside here, and then that should, you know, distribute the water evenly as we need it. Get rid of this one here. That should work. So I'm gonna run with this setup here, and we'll see what happens. All right, so I have just basic power routing system set up just for proof of concept, and then if this works, I'll go into more detail, but it looks like our max consumption is going to be 69 megawatts between everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop in our fuel. And we'll see what happens. Oh, shoot. We don't have that many. Yes, we do. Yeah, this would have been a little silly. All right. So we got our coal coming down, belting, got our water extractors. We got our pump here. Head lift. Oh, 20 meters? That's plenty. Makes sense, the flow rate's kind of low. You know, we're only getting the 120 on this pipe here. Here we have all of the other ones. And everything is connected in some fashion. In terms of like, so like essentially this becomes the key pipe right here. And then that's connected to literally everything. So we should be fine. And there's no like backwards issues. Flow rate doesn't show any head lift issue. Let's go take a look at our coal jennies. See if they're getting water. So it's they're not getting water, but we are getting coal. That's not getting water. We have no flow. Maybe because the other pipes have to fill up first. Because we're getting flow here. Getting some flow here. Looks like it was just taking some time to spin up. 200 in extractor, so we're capped out. And we're getting no flow above that. The pump's going in the right direction. Head lift, 4 point. Okay, so we're well under the 20 meter head lift. Let's see where we're getting in the as far as flow here. Just bobbing up and down. That's steadily rising. There we go. Yes. Flow. Look at that. Okay. So we should see some instability as like coal takes its time to kind of sort itself out. Excuse me, that's why I ran the Mark II belts all the way down. But it looks like it's not going to make too much of a difference, but it'll eventually catch up, which will be nice. And this should eventually become self-sustaining. Yeah, capacity 540 megawatts. And we're producing per 75 each. So I think we can take these offline. And we are now self-sustaining. Alright, so to kind of go over the details of what all has really changed since last time. So nothing much. Like I mentioned, you know, I reorganized how we kind of connected this. This loop on the inside, it's not necessarily needed, but I wanted to round it out and make it symmetrical for on the inside. I'm not sure the walls are going to stick. What I would like to do, you can kind of see down here, I have a 1 meter downward ramp. It's technically a 2 meter double ramp, but this lines up almost perfectly with the water extractor itself. And then I'm thinking about taking this and then looping it all the way down here, and then doing corner pieces in between. I don't think I can really do one here, but maybe at least on this corner I can do like one of those corner foundations. I can also look at revising the design a little bit, where we try and make the back end of this extractor line up here. Would be something kind of neat in the future to do, so that way we can do corners in and out and really just kind of close in the gap here, and then maybe do the catwalks here. But I kind of liked how this all, and this is a little weird here because it's a half foundation gap, which I might be able to fudge. Once we get catwalks and we use the concrete foundation style, you can kind of clip it and it doesn't look like it's clipping per se. But this is, I'm super excited that we at least got to this point, you know, this early on in the series. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually run all of this, like run the power from here back, and then I'll possibly look at like cleaning this up. I might just leave it, to be honest. You know, like the goal was to get power, like automated power, and kind of leave it there. But we now have an idea of how we're going to do it on the opposite side. So we're going to do essentially mirror it, but we're also going to double the length, possibly. So that way we can do 16 generators on each side. So we can do a series of 32 here, and then span it all the way down. I mean, we can't really do too much here with the amount of coal that we have at our disposal, but like there's the coal node here. There's a couple coal nodes down that way that we can also rely on. And who knows, like maybe we end up, like if we tap into coal elsewhere on the map, we can bring it back here. That's totally an option as well. And like, you know, like truck it in or train it in, so that way... Oh, they cleaned this area up. I really like how they did this here. So that way we at least keep it all localized. Like we have localized coal power, you know. Ooh, I'm about to bring all of this online. Hopefully it doesn't crash anything. We'll bring it in over here. Did I miss something? Oh, there we go. So we'll just have to give this a second. The UI scaling is preventing me from seeing that. But everything is online. Let me make sure our quartz is also back online. Looks like it is. Yep, I did reconnect that some time ago. So we're going to have more points, just passive points rolling in. I will eventually clean up the design. You can actually get rid of these now, which is fantastic. Yeah. Oh no, How did I manage that? Whoops. Just we'll put that back. So yeah, I think I'm happy. We have automated power, so there's a little less to worry about now. You know, less downtime when it comes to going out getting fuel and things like that. And we actually have a pretty decent surplus of fuel. Or actually, we lost it all. We lost all the fuel, by the way, when we just deconstructed those, unless they went somewhere that I didn't notice, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Which is fine. We don't really need the fuel. And maybe we do invest in, I think batteries at some point become available. I'm not sure when that is. I think that actually might be... It's not in here, is it? Yeah, I didn't think so. So we'll probably work on building some factories. Reinforced iron plate factories next. Or maybe we just do simple ones, you know? Just to kind of get us through the bases to really like unlock some really beneficial things. Eventually get to like Mark III belts and whatnot. So really happy with the progress today. And we'll leave it at that. Well, that took a little bit more time than I kind of wanted in terms of crafting up all the materials manually, but I'm really glad that we got to this point. Having automated power is such a huge milestone, especially getting it this early in the playthrough. I think it was the right call, ultimately. I think we'll make up the time spent manually crafting due to the fact that we have automated power and it's less hands-on. And I know it's not the cleanest, and we'll definitely be revisiting. Again, we don't have all the assets that we want out of the awesome shop quite yet, but that is definitely going to be a main focus, so that way we can start building some more permanent factories long term, and we'll definitely revisit this space once we get those assets unlocked. And I haven't quite figured out the styling that I want to do for all the factories. I would like to deviate from boxes, essentially. So I'll definitely be exploring that as well in the near future. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. It does help out the channel. And if you want to see more content in the future, be sure to subscribe if you're not already. And again, always open to feedback. Leave a comment below, and really appreciate it. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.